Hello and good morning from Montevideo. Wanted to do my second post here. We're about to leave actually. Been here for 2 days after a pretty great start. We got here at probably about 9 o'clock. Couldn't check into the hotel, well hostel should I say, which is here. This is like the courtyard. It's pretty sweet. So we went straight out into a walking tour and met some really amazing people and actually found out some facts which I will be dropping into the conversation as we go along. First one being that the population here is 6 million with a population of 30 million cows. That equates to around 5 cows per person, with the average Uruguayan, should I say, eating 99 kilos of meat every year. Anyway, yeah, we went onto this walking tour, met loads of people, walked around the whole of the city, which is absolutely beautiful. Like, what I noticed is that the smell in the air seems to be of wood burners, so I guess that's because it's winter, but it just adds such a nice, I don't know, just a nice scent to the air. It just feels quite homely, like you're in a front room when you're just walking around. And the people are really, really friendly. And the food is delicious. So on the first day we went to this market. I can only describe it, it's a bit like Brixton markets, but it knows what it's doing. It's been there for a lot longer. And they just have these grills full of meat and steaks that you can just tuck into and really enjoy. Naz and I we had to share this double steak thing with loads of chips. And it was absolutely delicious, and we got a sauce for it actually, which we found out last night, which I'll get to later, but we found out last night that this sauce called chimichurri that you might know, that was actually invented by an English guy. So his name was Jim Curry, but they got the name a bit mixed up and called it chimichurri. So that's where the name comes from, if any of you were wondering. Yeah, so we went out, did this walking tour, and we'd met a couple of people at the airport. One of which we saw on the first night. He came out with us and some of the people that we'd met during the day. We went to some bars and some clubs. Another great thing here is that weed is legalised, not for tourists to buy, but they have all of these weed shops, which we went into and checked out and went to a few bars. It was a really fun night. We ended up getting drunk playing Never Ever Have I Ever, which we got quite honest. Good game. Yeah, and yesterday was a little bit more chilled out. So, we woke up yesterday. We were pretty knackered actually, because the day before obviously we'd done absolutely loads. We didn't go to bed till about 2 AM and I think we'd been travelling for 24 hours. We didn't go back to the hostel once after the walking tour, so we got up really, really late. I managed to find Love Island. I'm so happy about that, by the way. I love it. We watched another episode this morning, obviously. Loads of drama last night. Anyway, so yesterday we woke up late and we decided to go into the town. On Sundays, everything's basically closed. Yeah, everything's closed on Sundays, but we were lucky enough that this restaurant that we really wanted to go to that specialises in really good pasta was open. So we went there, and Nazatron, the food blogger, got some really nice pasta and photos, which I think she's already uploaded. And after that, we then, so we met another guy at the airport, like an actual Uruguayan, and he said that he'd show us round, and he got hold of us on that day, and we went and met him in this beautiful place. It was a bit of a bitch to get there because, funnily enough, a tourist information lady gave us wrong bus details, which resulted in us being about an hour and a half late. But we got to this place called Plaza Vigilio, which is basically just a park which is overlooking the whole of the coastline. So you could see the beaches and you had the skyline, and it was the most beautiful sunrise, like a raspberry creme brulee is like how I like to think of it. And we stayed there with them for a while. He brought one of his friends. They told us about different parts of their culture, what they like to do, you know, how they are with their family. He also gave us a really good swear word, which, Naz, what is it?
Puta madre!
Puta madre! Basically, you can say that if you're saying shit or something like that, so we'll definitely be using that a lot. Yeah, and then they said that we needed to try this, what's it called? Chivito.
Chivito.
So we went to try the chivito, and at first we were a little bit dubious because they stopped in a service station, a petrol station. It was like an Esso, and we were like, you're kidding us, right? No, they were not. And yes, we should have trusted them because it was delicious. This thing is like, it's just a sandwich that's got everything in it, and it's really saucy. So it reminds me of the Super Soaker of Ross, because the bread gets like really full of all of the juices of like the pickles, and it's like salty pickles, but then it's like lovely smooth egg and like all of this meat, and then a lovely salad. It's gorgeous. Anyway, so yeah, we stayed there with them. Annoying. Stayed there with them, and then we got the bus home and just chilled out. Yeah, so yesterday was like it was a really nice day, don't you think, Naz?
Yes.
It was great. So yeah. And now in this extremely red light, Naz, say hello.
Hello.
We are on the way to Colonia. We got to the bus station. I spoke a lot of Spanish, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Used up those skills. But yeah, there's outside, there's me, there's a blue sky, what a great winter, and we'll see you soon.